Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about Solana, what's been happening with the price, what can we expect to happen next, and is it the end of Solana? Will we see Solana hit lows like Luna did? We'll talk about all of it. So if you don't want to miss any of that important information, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. Guys, on a little side note, make sure you check us out at PTGRAG if you want to look into greater consultancy packages related to cryptocurrencies and have all the latest macro and micro analysis. So guys, let's not waste any more time and jump straight into the video. How Solana will react after Sol and attempts to take over the investor's wallet. So what's been happening, we'll talk about it, but there was a big wallet which could basically, if that person were to sell off his position, drive the price to Solana really to an all-time low. I mean, back to what we used to be, to its all-time high of roughly $270 back in November. We have now been, I mean, on a drastic skyfall all the way now to the $37, $38 hovering. The scary thing is we went as low as $25 roughly here. We were testing these levels at $26 ish, and basically the bulls took the upper hand for a couple of reasons, but there is positive sentiment that the Solana attempt to take over the investors wallet will occur, because it would crash the whole Solana network if it weren't to occur. So Solana is a Solana-based lending and borrowing platform that recently voted to take control of a whales account that was close to being liquidated, and the account is said to have borrowed 108 million USDC with 5.7 million SOL tokens as collateral. So this collateral is huge because roughly 20% of the whales account would be liquidated if Solana price slided below the $22.30. Often liquidation involves selling tokens on exchange, which would have a huge market impact. The good thing, however, guys, is that Solan movers is unprecedented in the DeFi's ecosystem because it violated one of the main tenets of Web3 decentralization, and this caused many in the space to criticize Solan's decision. As we can see, people were even saying that it's a total insanity, it's a joke. But the Solana price at a junction has been on lower highs since May 15, and which can be connected using a trend line. And the June 14 swing low to a $25 formed the base just above the 24.52 support. And that's important because we've basically we haven't tested lower than this. We're basically hovering between this support level at 24.52, and a surge in buying pressure here pushed Sol to rally 36% this week, all the way back to $37, $38 right now. So what can we expect to happen if this were to happen? Basically, Solend, the largest lending market, is about to have a crippling liquidation of the 170 million Sol that could crash the network. And this crash in the network could cause, similarly, like we talked about, liquidation of huge whales, which could drive the price near zero. And there's a large liquidation on the Solana protocol, where we talked about the 5.7 million SOL collateral over the 108 million USDC and USDT borrowed. The alone accounts of a huge percent borrowing on Solana, and now this position is under liquidation threat. So the good news is the whale is not closing their position yet. However, such a large liquidation, like talked about, is an illiquid market, and an unstoppable network like Solana is likely to have vastly damaging consequences. Solana network has gone down and altered half a dozen times. So this is very scary because people have extreme fear and sentiments towards cryptocurrencies currently. And when we see these news, we realize how unstable currently crypto is in terms of fear, because people are very reactive to these. And so less and less people are starting to believe in the project. And Solana is still great in terms of efficiency. I mean, even for NFTs, for example, it's much more efficient over OpenSea. In terms of transaction speed, it's much faster than Ethereum. So it has a lot of benefits. Also in terms of of energy it consumes. So a lot of benefits. It's sad that Solana is under heat right now due to these big whales holding majority of the Solana actual pool. And this is scary because it shows that only a few people are able to control the supply of Solana, right? So the users of Solana-based borrowing and lending platform Solend voted Sunday to force a takeover of the protocol's largest account, a whales whose extremely large margin position was getting, according to Solend contributors, dangerously close to a catastrophic on-chain liquidation cliff. So we have to see how this will move because it's unsure as to how this will move in the coming days. But it's very scary to see in the unprecedented times we're living in because Solana has been doing great. I mean, if you look back to the all-time highs, we were roughly $230. Solana is a great coin. I don't consider it an altcoin nearly, to be honest. Back when it was at its all-time high, I thought it had great potential, and I still think the potential are great. It's just you are seeing the downfall and the risk of cryptocurrencies over leveraged people that took loans and collateral on crypto that they could not cover, and you're seeing a hell lot of liquidation. Now, this is positive for us, right? If you're a smaller investor and you're seeing big whales being kicked out, it's probably a good price to buy and to take into consideration once you've reached these lows. So we're roughly hovering around the 37 period. The support level at 24 level, I think, will remain the support level for a while unless the whale gets liquidated. And then we will have drastic situation occurring. But I'm having a very close eye, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out any of that information because I'll be on the lookout for that. And then what's also been is that Solana lender approves the whale wallet takeover to avoid the DeFi implosion. So like we talked about, they have put a vote to basically approve this takeover. But what's interesting is that, sorry, here, when you're looking at the scandal comes on the heels of last week's sudden layoff from Coinbase and BlockFi and the liquidation debacle of 3 Hours Capital. Adding to the melee of unexpected volatility and market sell-off, the spur-of-the-moment alteration of supposed decentralized autonomous organization or DAO shows that crypto is not as decentralized as its users may have thought. And this is very true in the sense that you are seeing these 2-3 accounts basically holding majority of supply, and it's scary because they are basically driving the price, right? And so details of the proposal includes that the whale's wallet address and deeper information in regards to why this account was causing issue for Solana. Part of the main issue is the large account is facing liquidation. We talked about that, which would put a strain on Solana and its user. According to the proposal, if Solana drops below, so we talked about this. Luckily, I believe, we have a support level holding at $2 higher than 22, so at 24.52 for me is the support level. But if it drops below 22.3, the whales account becomes liquidated for up to 20% of their borrowers. So that represents roughly $21 million. And the aim of the proposal is to take over the control. Will that happen, and how will be the market reacting to that? We will have to see and wait and watch. Solana has been under a lot of fire because it's quite complicated to deal with such complex situation. But we will have to see how that will happen next. Obviously, whole market has been down. It's not just Solana which has been affected by this. I mean, we even saw one of the top three cryptocurrency at the time, Luna, have a total fall from what, $90 all the way down to less than a penny, right? So it's very scary that these such huge cryptos can have such downfall from a couple whales manipulating the market. I mean, for Luna it wasn't the case, but for Solana we are being under a very big threat of these liquidation due to heavy borrowed loans and position that were basically not hedged. So the Solana network also has been on the rise for the NFT sales, gaining some recognition. I mean, you had some big projects such as OK Bears and others that were all selling on the Solana network. Solana has been great with NFT doing, just with Magic Eden, it's just shows the efficiency of the Solana network. So it'd be very sad to see Solana go down. We'll have to see how that goes, but there's a huge problem developing on the Solana DeFi, which is the total value locked has dropped by 1.56 billion from the onset of June. At the time of the writing, this stood at 2.43 billion, with macro condition playing their part in the collapse. So we'll have to see how the market have to react in a couple days. This is all for this video, guys. If you liked, make sure if you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below, and make sure you check us out at PTGR AG. So guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.